Welcome back. Last time I was talking on the principles I was following in the course. Uh, I I basically had just read the principles from here. Uh, Let me a little bit go deeper to them. Labor is the most valuable resource we have means basically. Um, well, I don't like using and relying to the curve mechanism in my courses. Uh, as far as possible, I want to make it possible for my students to use their labor. I mean, work. I mean, to improve their grades, to get better grades in the course. As a result, in my courses um, there are different works that can take each other's place. In this course, this is especially true for you will see the literature reviews. Um, in case of exams, of course, I mean exams are very flexible. That's why I didn't provide possible. I mean replacement of the exams. Although you can replace one exam with a course paper if you want. So there are some replacements. Um, so this is one thing. Um, by working more, you should be able to improve your previously taken bad grades. The course should be fair means, as far as possible, I want to create options for everyone, not specific people who demand favor for them. Of course, COVID makes this principle a little bit difficult because sometimes some people have really specific cases. For example, in the exam time, the electricity goes down, and in that case, for the specific people lack who don't have electricity, of course, they don't have access to internet in that case, and to answer the questions of the exam, you need to access to internet. I mean, you cannot simply answer the questions by uh, writing, basically. Uh, so I may need to make exceptions if for those people. In that case, I mean, but as far as possible, I want to create options already there for people who might experience special cases, and not bring them at uh, specific moments, in a surprising manner. Um, and as unless it is really a special case, I don't like making personal favors in the course. I mean, I already want to design the course in a way people with different conditions should find different ways to be successful in the course as much as possible. And this principle is also related to the third principle. The course should be flexible in providing choices. That's as much as possible, the course should provide you the different options to specify in topics that interest you most, to show that you are working, you have needed performance in different ways. Uh, so in a way, I mean, the course should be in a way that it can. It should not be a type of course. I mean, as much as possible, it depends on the type of course, but as much as possible, it should not be a course that is monolithic. I mean, everyone gets the same thing. There can be a core side of the course which everyone should get, and core abilities everyone should get at the end of the course. But beyond these core abilities and core knowledge, there should be also some part of the course in which everyone can should be able to specialize or focus on the topics or subjects, or at least methods they interested most in the course. So as much as possible, I try to follow these three principles. In some courses, introduction to economics course, for example, it is more difficult. In this course, it is more or less more possible, to follow these principles. For example, in the world economic course, I follow these principles even much more. I follow them much more precisely. So that's a course that really fits to these principles very well. Some additional things I'm concerned with is learn the background information, background of the information given, not learn the theories or information as a God-given information, but also see how they are created, basically. You should be able to use the information to build an opinion and discuss practical problems, especially the people who take from me 210, Introduction to Economics course. So a few of them, a few of my students in that course, I think, are taking this course also. They know, actually, in many ways, I test the knowledge, not direct asking knowledge, but by asking you to use that knowledge to build an opinion on it, basically. In this course, I make it more drastically, and also criticize and critically evaluate what is being taught, basically. Even in 210 courses, I have asked whether one assumption or the other is founded realistic or not, for example, in the exams. And the answer is not one way or the other. As long as you can justify yourself, well, answers, both type of viewpoints might be the right answer. Okay. Now, on the Marxian economics. Interestingly, actually, in the United States, different people have criticized in different people have criticized this discourse in different ways, actually opposing ways. Let me say. There were some students who said the Marxian economics is too wide. It might be true, especially if you are economic students and you compare this course with other elective courses you take. While many elective courses, like labor economics or behavioral economics, they focus on a specific aspect, specific field in the economics. This course is not like that. This course is focusing on a different school in economics. Well, a school in economics is actually building a different or kind of different framework. Sometimes these different schools might be close to each other. Sometimes they are far from each other in terms of the basic framework, the models, the understanding, the main theories that they find more important, basically. That all of these things are actually the framework of the school, and they use this framework to understand economic system. Well, sometimes those frameworks are relatively more close. Keynesian economics and the neoclassical economics are more like that, for example, relatively. Although Keynesian economics has a specific branch, that's post-Keynesian economics that has a wholly different framework compared with the neoclassical economics. There you see a lot more difference. And sometimes those frameworks can be different from each other. What you learn in Introduction to Economics is basically the neoclassical, the framework of the neoclassical school, and to some extent Keynesian school. In this course, you will see a different structure, different type of framework that is used to understand the economic system. And this framework has a core, the certain theories, models that are considered as the most important ones, like utility theory in economics, or utility theory in microeconomics, if you have seen that theory, and the In macroeconomics, for example, the well, goods market, financial markets, and how they interact with each other, basically. Those things are and especially the market, the transaction, the exchange between the people, and how this exchange is organized is viewed. That's the most important aspect of the economic system. And in macroeconomics, it's more like how this overall exchange process can be create some short-term problems created by demand shortages, demand fluctuations. That's the core, the most considered as the most important aspect of the macroeconomics. There are some other aspects that are still considered very important, although not maybe the most important ones. Marxian economics also have this type of a core structure. I mean, what Marxian economists think as the most important aspect, uh, uh, most important dynamics of the economic system. And then there are some secondary, secondary topics that are still studied by these schools, but that are not considered as the most important topics. In this course, I both talk on the core, the subjects Marxian economics view as the most important ones. I will also spend some time to talk on, the aspects of economics that Marxian economics doesn't see as at least as the core aspects of the existing economic system, but still it studies those aspects using Marxian framework, basically. And in some cases, especially for those topics, I will, but also even at the core aspects, I will compare Marxian viewpoints with the viewpoints of the other schools. So in a way, this course is too broad. This course is broad. It is on different aspects, different topics in the economic system, because it studies how all these different topics are studied by the Marxian school. So in a way, it is kind of, I can say, is a reintroduction to economics. I mean, introduction to economics studied in a different way, let me say. That different way might still, as I said, have similarities to the neoclassical, the way neoclassical school and Keynesian school is using, but still it has also significant differences from them. So that's the course. This course might be broader than some people might think of or expected. In another way, however, this course might be actually narrower than some people expect, because some people are expecting to see different aspects, different viewpoints, or of the whole Marxian ideology or whole Marxian social science here. Well, Marx is a guy who a scientist, let me say, but ideologue, philosopher, who has actually studied many different topics in different social sciences. Plus, he's also more than actually a social scientist. I mean, he can be also seen as a kind of a semi-politician, an ideologue, basically, and philosopher, which is a different thing from science also. So it's a very broad. Marxism is a very broad thing. In this course, we are just focusing on Marxian economics, not the other aspects of Marxism, not other sciences, in which Marxian school studies and Marxism has worked on, and built separate schools also within them, basically. So in that sense, I mean, it can be narrower than some people might be expecting. It just focused on Marxian economics, although Anyway, we will talk on this in the next